The tape you are about to see includes actual video footage taken during Zsa Zsa Gabor's 15 days in court. The affair has been called the ultimate circus trial. Nonetheless, it is a shining example of what happens when a Hollywood celebrity bumps up against, or should we say slaps the face of, a very real criminal justice system. Even more interesting is the barrage of windfall publicity Gabor received. Zsa Zsa is again a household word.
We, the jury, in the above entitled cause, find the defendant, Zsa Zsa Gabor, guilty of the offense.
Apparently, the jury was not influenced by her celebrity status. Zsa Zsa has been found guilty of slapping Beverly Hills police officer Paul Kramer. She is guilty of driving without a valid driver's license. And Zsa Zsa Gabor is guilty of having an open container of alcohol in her Rolls-Royce. The question remains, did Zsa Zsa Gabor use a public courtroom to orchestrate a melodramatic comeback to her acting career? Was this simply Gabor's ultimate talk show appearance? Was the Honorable Charles Rubin only Johnny Carson in judicial robes? Should Zsa Zsa's attorney, William Grayson, trade his law degree for a job as a theatrical agent? Did a battery of comedy writers come up with the material about lesbians and Nazi Germany? We'll never know for sure. Whether you think Zsa Zsa is guilty or not is almost irrelevant. The question is, does her appearance in Beverly Hills Court, Division II, deserve a Tony, an Emmy, an Oscar? What about a couple of months in the Slammer? The people of Beverly Hills have decided. Now, you be the judge. Question, do you think Zsa Zsa Gabor slapped a cop?
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not sure. I can't say that. But if she did it, she shouldn't have did it. Slap a policeman.
I don't think it's unthinkable. I think she certainly has the capacity, or she's demonstrated that.
Do you think she did what everyone claims she did? Yell at him, slap him?
No, I don't.
Would she do something like this?
No, she's very pretentious. I mean, she's a star and everything like that, but she's a very sweet woman. She's not crazy or, I mean, she loves animals. I know her from Polo.
What do you know Zsa Zsa Gabor from? What's she famous for?
Oh, she really isn't famous for anything. She did false eyelashes about 10 years ago, and her sister was on Green Acres, and she's just a personality, really.
What is she famous for? Green Acres. I know that was a joke. That was a joke. That was her sister, okay? Chill, babe, chill. I don't know, movies, you know, old time, like early 60s movies and stuff like that. For cleavage, I don't know.
Did she do the TV thing, Green Acres, or is that her sister? Okay, no, okay. Zsa Zsa Gabor, darling.
Space aliens on the moon or something. I don't know, one of her early things, mainly from TV. She was on Green Acres, and she's done talk show. No, she didn't do Green Acres. I don't know what she's done.
That's her sister? Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, from films and movies, I mean, and seeing her on talk shows.
This is the spot where Officer Paul Kramer first pulled over Miss Gabor's Rolls-Royce. Gabor's registration tags had expired. It was a routine traffic stop. She presented Kramer with an expired and altered driver's license. Her birth date had been touched up. Zsa Zsa argued with Kramer. Kramer went back to his vehicle and allegedly told her to fuck off. Zsa Zsa testified she thought that meant she could go. Now, this is the spot where she was pulled over for the second time and arrested. Zsa Zsa claims that Kramer reached into the car and grabbed her arm hard enough to bruise her.
And as the evidence will show in this case, he observed her to step out of the car and appear to close it. And then in one motion with her right hand, swung around and slapped him across the side of the face, bending his sunglasses, the impact turning his head. And the evidence will show in this case that Officer Kramer grabbed the defendant's wrists, held them at her side, and forcibly moved her to the back of the vehicle. And in doing so, he bent her over the back of the vehicle and placed handcuffs on her. And he advised her at that point in time that she was under arrest for striking an officer. The evidence will also show that Officer Kramer then took the defendant, walked her to the curb, and sat her on the curb. The reasons being, at that point, number one, he didn't want her to fall down, and number two, he wanted to have her in a position to watch while he waited for assistance. Now, within moments of this particular activity, secondary units from the police department arrived, and a number of witnesses who happened to be driving on Olympic Boulevard and also walking in the area made these observations.
Zsa Zsa Gabor arrives at the courthouse in a Chevrolet station wagon. As you can see, Gabor dressed for success on this first day of the trial. A simple yet businesslike Donna Karan dress accentuates the black with a red silk corsage. Zsa Zsa is confident, jovial to say the least, telling reporters that she doesn't need the flood of publicity that has been generated since the arrest. This is an unworried woman. She is accompanied into the courtroom by her entourage, her attorney, William Grayson, various supporters, daughter Francesca Hilton, husband Prince Frederick of Germany, and her hairdresser. Gabor appears to be comfortable in a courtroom. She sketches Judge Rubin and others called to the stand to testify.
Are you happy with jury selection, Zsa Zsa?
Zsa Zsa, do you think they can find 12 people who can judge you?
That's a funny question.
Well, do you?
have to move back.
You guys
How do you feel about jury selection so far, Zsa
I've never
Zsa?
done it before. I think it's exciting. It's interesting. Such wonderful, intelligent people.
Yeah, really.
Did you find any people you think should be on the jury?
I mean, we're just trying to get shot.
I liked everybody so much.
All right? We're just
No
trying to
news
do our
conferences.
job.
We're under a court order not to
Okay,
say
we're just
anything
trying to
about the
get
case until the case is over. So please don't ask questions.
Gag order. Court order. What is gag order? Gag order. I thought that dogs get gagged. Oh, it's a court order. For how long?
Till the trial is over.
Zsa Zsa's dress is still a Donna Karan, but this time with leopard spots. Unfortunately, the jungle of reporters and celebrity hounds provides no camouflage for the increasingly agitated Gabor. Even the courtroom gallery is filled with Free Zsa Zsa and Hang Zsa Zsa t-shirts. The shirts are being hawked in the hallway.
I want to buy my t-shirts. Where are they? Buy my t-shirts. That's great. You're going to buy one too? I'm selling t-shirts here. I'm selling t-shirts. You want to buy one too? I'm selling t-shirts. It's an opera comique, isn't it? Isn't it wonderful? She's singing contralto. I'm not going to sing tenor. We're all going to sing tenor. Aren't we?
At one point in the trial, Zsa Zsa lookalike Patty LaPearl is mistaken for Gabor's sister Ava and is escorted into the courtroom to sit beside Zsa Zsa's husband, Prince Frederick von Anhalt of Germany. LaPearl is promptly ejected. The tension is building.
Darling, it's expired. What do you think?
Remain seated and come to order. Court is now in session with the Honorable Charles G. Rubin, Judge presiding.
Today, Zsa Zsa has taken it upon herself to sketch a portrait of Judge Rubin. Gabor claims that Latin people have stolen her driver's license. In fact, this is the day that Zsa Zsa tells a horde of reporters, quote, "I would be very unhappy in jail with all those lesbians. Being locked up with a man is one thing, but with lesbians, I would be afraid of going to jail." Who wouldn't be?
That's a jailbird car. This is the car which was in jail.
Did you expand on your remarks last night about your fear of going to prison?
Well, I don't want to go to prison. I have claustrophobia.
You said you were afraid because all the lesbians.
I don't know. I've been in jail.
Today, Gabor faces her accuser, Officer Paul Kramer. She gazes at Kramer with a combination of disdain and admiration for his manly good looks. She compares him later to Tom Selleck. She also claims he's gay and jealous of her ex-husbands.
What's your reaction to the testimony, John?
I'm not allowed to talk. Did you see the policeman on board? Just leave his place, my side.
But Zsa Zsa, were you you've done the things that he described in such a nice officer?
But I don't talk like this. I never used that word in my entire life. We have to go.
Were you making faces during his testimony?
No, I found him very gorgeous. I was watching. He would be a wonderful movie star.
Why did the judge tell you not to?
No, the district attorney doesn't like me.
Mr. Fox, are you going to go for jail time?
Can't have any comments on the case. There's a gag order.
but I mean, what was your reaction listening to him? What was your
I'm
reaction
sorry, we're
listening
under a court order
I
not
tell
to
you what
discuss
my
that.
reaction. I thought him at the beginning he said truth and he started to lie. Am I
Zsa Zsa,
no?
you're really not allowed to make this type of statement.
Zsa Zsa, did you alter the age on your license?
That's not my license.
And that's an issue in the case which she's not allowed to discuss with the media.
It's not my license.
By court order, gentlemen, she's not allowed to discuss issues of the case. I'd ask that
But
you not ask
give
her.
us her personal reation, though. to
No,
what was
she's
going
ordered
on.
explicitly not to give her personal reaction.
Zsa Zsa, how you feeling?
That's a good question. Officer Gabor, can you stand facing Officer Kramer?
I'm afraid of him. I am afraid of this man. I know his temper.
Was it strange standing next to him again?
That's petrifying to me.
Zsa Zsa, you're happy with the line, the way it's going today?
I'm sick. I'm leaving the whole thing.
On this day, Zsa Zsa tells reporters about Officer Kramer, quote, "I should have scratched his eyes out. He sits there like an Adonis and lies."
I have a remark now, right now. I don't care if my lawyer hits me over the head. This man should be an actor because he's the biggest liar on the police department, the biggest liars on the world. And I mean it.
He is the officer.
The officer is a liar and the district attorney is a liar.
Why is he a liar?
Really? Because he lies. Every word out of his mouth is a lie.
There's a gag order on this case, so I have no comment. We're going to deal with that in front of the judge at this point.
Is it a violation of the gag order?
I'm going to request a contempt hearing at this point.
What about you, Officer Kramer? What do you think about that?
She says you're a liar.
Are you? No. You're telling the truth? Yes.
She thinks you're gorgeous. What do you think of that? Do you think she's gorgeous?
Why don't you turn down the roll in the movie?
Joe, sorry, I grabbed
Why don't you turn down the roll in her company's movie?
I'm going after
She says you're
I mean, honey, this is honey. Remember, the policeman is an actor. He lies. He sits there like Adonis, and he lies. He's a movie star. As a matter of fact, my company wanted to hire him one of these, a cop in my movie, but my husband said no. Are you jealous of him?
Is that a slap?
We are very happy. No policeman who behaves like that and lies like that, even though I love them. Actually, the policemen always want to marry me in Beverly. They always stop me, Zsa Zsa, are you married? I ask, will you marry me? No. This is just a very handsome, macho, conceited, and very stupid. But very stupid.
Zsa Zsa, inquiring minds want to know, what is your true birth date?
Do you really think I will say? Oscar Wilde said a woman who will tell her age will tell anything. I will never tell my true birthday, but I'm much younger than American press makes me up to be. But it's still not that young, damn it.
Mr. Fox, you said you wanted to address the court about something?
Yes, Your Honor. Showing counsel now what purports to be a copy of the Los Angeles Times from Friday, September 15, 1989. Part 2, Metro section, Your Honor. There is an article, as there has been on a daily basis, concerning the proceedings in this case. At the outset of this case, it's my understanding the court issued an order. I was here. The defendant was present also. A portion of that order, and I'll quote the order that the court read. Parties, attorneys, witnesses, and prospective witnesses and court attaches shall not directly or indirectly through others, release orally or in documented form to any news media, any information or opinion concerning this trial or of any issue likely to be involved therein, other than the date and place of trial, the names of the parties and counsel, the contents of the complaint, and the plea of the defendant thereto. Specifically and without limitation, there shall be no public statements or release concerning the merits of the complaint, the evidence of or arguments to be made by either side, or trial tactics or strategy. Quoting from page 8 of the Los Angeles Times, Your Honor.
This is what date of the Times?
September 15, 1989.
It's today's Times.
Meanwhile, Gabor, 60-something, eluded her lawyer during a lunch break, thus also eluding the court-imposed gag order on the case. This is so ridiculous in my life, she said.